Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kirstie.
Today we're going to tell you how to light an interior scene.
When you're starting out in filmmaking, the first thing you're going to want to invest in is a really good camera, followed by really awesome audio equipment. Then the next thing you're going to want to do is buy some lights.
So right now we're going to show you how to use those lights to light an interior setup. But that's the same technique you would use if you're lighting someone in front of a green screen.
In this episode, we're going to be focusing on three-point lighting. That's the key light, the fill light, and the backlight.
The key light is the main light. It's like the sunlight in the scene, so it's your biggest primary light.
The fill light is on the other side of the scene, and it's used to fill in some of those shadows in the subject's face.
And then you have the backlight. That's behind your actors, and it's creating this nice rim light around the edge, and it separates them from the background.
There are loads of different kinds of lights to choose from $1,000 LED lamps to fluorescent bulbs for $50 to a desk lamp that you've got lying around. But the most important thing to remember is how to position them in your scene and how to use them correctly.
So in this shot, where Kirstie is camera right, we want the brightest light, the key light, to be on the left. If you were to put this on the right as well, it would create an incredibly flat image, which wouldn't be that interesting. But with the key light off to the left, it creates shadows on Kirstie's face, which we can then highlight using a fill light. The fill light won't typically be as bright, and it's just used to bring out the detail in the shadowed side of the face. We can then actually enhance the image even further by adding a backlight, which will separate Kirstie from the brick wall background and create that cinematic look. It's also possible to create a very similar shot just using desk lamps, as modeled by Kirstie here. We use two to be the key light, so we have double the brightness. Then we use another one, turned slightly away from Kirstie, to be the fill. Then at the back, we have one more, a little further out, which is working as the backlight.
None of this may seem very natural to you, but we all kind of have an internal understanding of what makes a shot cinematic, and getting the lighting right is really going to help with that.
A really important thing to note when you're using these different lamps is to make sure you set your white balance on your camera. That's the only way you're going to get the color how you really want it. Now, a three-light setup doesn't actually need to be three lights. You can use a reflector, so you can reflect a light that you might have to create two or even three lights. And a reflector doesn't need to be expensive. You can buy them on Amazon for virtually no money, or just make your own. Just get some tin foil and stretch it over a piece of cardboard, and you have a great reflector. You definitely want to try and avoid small spaces and white walls.
It's really hard to control light in a small space, especially if you're working with white walls, which can be really reflective.
Flat coloured walls can be pretty boring. You probably want to cover them with posters or pictures. You can even use a light to colour that wall. What you're trying to do is make the background interesting, but not distract from your subject.
In a small space, it's really hard to get your subject far enough away from the wall so that you don't cast a shadow and you can have a really nice depth of field shot. The advantages of controlling environmental light is that everything becomes very predictable and the light doesn't change. You may have noticed in some of our older episodes, from the start to the end of the episode, the light changes quite a lot, and that's because we're not able to control the sun.
The advantage of using sunlight is it's a really powerful diffuse source of light. So with just a couple of reflectors, you can create those other lights that you need, and it's your full three-point light setup.
Don't fundamentally change your light from shot to shot if you're shooting in the same location, because that's going to confuse your audience. Remember to keep your light logical.
Learn to use your camera. We've done a whole episode about shutter speed, exposure, ISO, stuff like that. But what you want to remember is to get the best shot you can in the camera when you record it. Don't rely on grading and post-production. If you're saving in a format like MP4, there may not be that much data there to correct afterwards, so just get the best shot you can in camera.
Actually, understanding light is so important. Ryan Connolly from Film Riot has an epic tutorial about using just one light really creatively to create the best shot.
There's literally an infinite amount to learn about cinematography and lighting setups, and one of the best things you can do is go onto YouTube and check out all the other excellent tutorials there.
We're so happy to see the HitFilm YouTube channel getting bigger and bigger, so if you haven't subscribed and you find our stuff useful, come and join the family. We'd love to have you.
And please comment down below. Thanks a lot. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.